Flesh Mourning is the sophomore full-length album from Seattle, Washington-based death metal band Reburied. And this is basically a band that started out as the extreme doom metal band decided to call it quits. And they sort of formed the idea and started working on it a little bit before that was official. Basically, it's just old school death metal with some autopsy and incantation-esque sounds. The interesting thing about this band is that they haven't really picked a lane yet between their first two records. They should appeal to the new old school death metal trends of late. They do play a mid-paced form of death metal that is moshable oftentimes, but they also focus in on some interest in almost like cavern core-esque sounds, some autopsy influence, like I said, and the production values speak to that as well. And so the new vocalist here really leans into that. Let's cut to a clip here and you'll get an example of why this record kind of stands out and the quality of the sound involved, and then I'll talk more about where I think this record stands in mind. Up front, I think Foreign's vocalist Chris Pinto, who is the vocalist of this band now, really stands out here as a personality. He's got this kind of Chris Reifert-esque approach to it. It does feel like this is like an autopsy-influenced record overall, but there are more atmospheric pieces on here, and there are just simpler, chugging, moshable death metal songs on here as well. And I think going back to what I was saying earlier, it doesn't feel like this band is picking a lane in terms of going for retro death metal in a very underground sort of way. Otherwise, it sort of feels like this record meets the standard of the current kind of trend in death metal, which is mid-paced, well-polished, a little bit hardcore-ish. So it's not a memorable record, and we've heard these sounds quite a bit from the band themselves, but I like everything that they're doing. I think they've got great sensibility in terms of curating the releases, a certain level of polish available to all of it. The songwriting is pretty solid, and it all arrives with sense, and I think this record works in a few more guitar solos, and it feels like it's a general improvement, but I have trouble getting stoked about it and even remembering any of it removed from it for just a week or two. Not sure about the lasting value or how long it's going to stick with me, but I do think they've met a strong standard here, which will please a lot of modern death metal fans who are looking for something that is old school attuned. Check it out for yourself, see what you think, and see if it resonates with you. Otherwise, read my written review for more of my thoughts.